Good morning, guys. The weather was gorgeous over the weekend. Hope you got to get out of the city because for the next few weeks, you are going to be working very, very hard. First of all, congratulations to all of you. This is a very ambitious but exciting project, and I know you are all looking forward to it. Alan Rick, our VP, is also very excited and he will work with us closely. So, this project is high visibility. I take it that all of you got my email. I am going to dive into some details now. I'm quickly going to go over last week's workshop, project team, project scope, and timeline. If you have any questions, we can go through them at the end. Here's a quick recap. All of you attended the Design Swarms workshop, and after 8 hours, 4 teams, 4 high-speed sprints, talking to 4 users, and many donuts later, you guys came up with 4 fabulous ideas. This is what our teams look like, and it so happens that we have here at least one member of each team. Hani and Neha, you were on team 1, Kevin was on team 2, Jet was on team 3, and Aster and I were on team 4. This is great. This way, all the ideas can get full representation. Our challenge was to design an app for Jenny and Jack to plan their weekend trip. The assumption here is that they are in Seattle and they want to do an outdoor activity close to the city. Our constraints were simple. Jenny was tied for time. She had 3 minutes to look something up and tell Jack. The only other clues we had were that it should be something that both of them enjoy and fits in their price range. You are familiar with the process and posters that we used for the workshop. It is good to have them handy in case we decide to reference them while looking up or if we want to try a new tool. At the end of the day, each team came up with an idea, and I think you guys can talk better to what your team came up with. Let me just give a little summary of each concept and we can discuss them in detail later. Team 1's concept was to eliminate the whole planning process by helping Jenny select a guided tour. The guide does everything from there on. Team 2 discovered that users rely on recommendations from their friends or look for social media to discover destinations. And so their concept was to integrate social media to bubble up relevant options. Team 3 went down a different route. They incentivized the planning process. You get more points if you select a certain destination or options, and they can redeem these points against REI merchandise. Team 4's idea was to make it easier for Jenny to pick a place by providing an experience package. That way, Jack won't have to plan much. The package could include recommendations for food options if they're planning to spend the night, then camping sites, activities, etc. All great ideas, guys, but since we are so pressed for time, we will launch only one before Thanksgiving. Okay. You guys all know each other, but I'm going through the list so you know what your roles are going to be. I am the PM, so if you have any concerns with scheduling or any other hiccups, you come to me and we can solve it together. For the next few weeks, we are pretty much stuck together, so be nice to each other. Okay, let me go through the timeline. Like I said, we have a lot to accomplish in a very short span of time. We have 7 weeks till Thanksgiving. And this is the rough plan for the next 7 weeks, and we can dive into the details in a minute. I don't want things to be left till the end, so week 7 is pretty much for fixing stray bugs. This week we should spend prepping. For week 2, we start our from week 2 we start our 5-day sprints, similar to what we are used to here. But instead of a feature, we will be testing an entire app in 1 week. Week 6 is to finalize and prep for launch. So this week, what I want to do is to bring all the teams from the workshop together, all 20 of us, and discuss individual ideas. What was the thought behind it? What did the users say? And other insights that we should know about. Once we have that down, we can create lo-fi paper prototypes, set up the usability lab, and recruit users for testing. This is what each sprint is going to look like. And this starts on week 2. So on Mondays, we will test lo-fi prototypes with users. On Tuesdays, we will incorporate the changes in more refined wireframes. And on Wednesdays, we test it out again with users. On Thursday, we make the suggested changes. And Thursday afternoons, I'm going to block Alan's afternoons for those weeks. We will present to him and a larger team. Whatever feedback we get, we incorporate that in the working prototype on Friday and validate with users once more if needed. As I said, we have our work cut out for us, and this will have to be a team effort. And I am banking on all of you to help each other out whenever required. Okay, week 6. We should have all our working prototypes ready. We will present to the higher management. They will take the final call. Then we get ready for launch. At this point, marketing teams will also come on board. And week 7 is the launch. If everything goes as planned, our customers will be using our app to get out of the city. You guys are great at what you do, and this project will test our limits. But by the end of it, we would have built some quality products with real users. And we could also use methods like Wizard of Oz that we discovered during the workshop. It was a really quick and dirty way of testing prototypes with our users. And so feel free to be a little flexible. I know we don't have that much time, so we don't have a lot of time to experiment. But since this is so fast-paced, we can, dedicate 15 minutes a day to try something new just to see how else we can use prototyping methods instead of going straight away to our computers, which is going to take much longer, I feel. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And so, are you ready for the challenge? All right. Any questions?